I started business actually with Patek 20 years ago. I had two choices at the time, either to start business and really learn about the product, or to go back to school, university, and to be a very sharp guy in terms of finance and also long. I chose really to know the product first, and I think that was really the most important choice that I made. For Patek Philippe, I'm the fourth generation today working as a family member for Patek, and that's something quite amazing. Today you do not have anymore, sadly, family business like that in the watch industry. They may remain Chopard, it's a family business too. They have 150 years history, but they are more on the jewelry side. So for Patek, we are really watchmakers since 1839. So we will soon have our 175th anniversary. This will be in 2014. I must say for Patek, like every year, we try to come out with two new technical, I would say, movement when it's possible. And of course, then you also have animation. So that means we can also change the design of the case, design maybe of the dial or color. So it is a whole mix, Of course, to make a new movement, it takes minimum 4 years for a simple one. The movement here that we present you, it's a chrono movement. This one is a little bit longer. It needs about 6 years altogether to create it. So it takes time. This is a good example. You have two pieces with the same movement. One is the main version, actually, with this one. It's made of yellow gold. It's very, very classical. We don't try to have any gimmicks, I leave it for the other one. For me, what is very important is to have a beautiful watch with a sapphire back also, because most of the time, if you don't have a sapphire back, I think it's sad because you don't see really what is the beauty of the watch. That's the inside. So for Patek Philippe, we are very, very concerned about not only the accuracy of the watch, but also the aesthetic. And aesthetic and accuracy goes together, actually. Then I can also show you the latest version, because I strongly believe today there is a lot of demand for ladies' complicated pieces. I did realize it when I was traveling in Asia, actually. The demand is growing. They are not willing anymore to have only quartz movement. So this is a version of the chrono for lady. I call it actually ladies first, because that was the first watch launched with this new movement. I think today in the collection we have over 30 different movements, and this is very, very interesting for collectors. When I'm able to produce everything in-house, I'm able to control my quality. So this is really the key of it, and this is very important for Patek. We don't do that for other reasons. The only one is that we are willing to control every part who is fitting inside the movement. As an example, this one, you have over nearly 400 parts inside. Each of them has to be perfectly done, otherwise the watch doesn't work properly. So a manufacturer helps you really to check everything, to be able really to improve the product at any time. You do receive also maybe your first Patek when there was something important in your life. It has to remind you a good time, and this is for me, what I really love with Patek. Luxury is used by everybody. I think luxury for me, it is something who is rare, who is fine, and who is made with passion and not in quantity. Luxury is something where you look at the product, where you can really feel there was real work behind manpower. And it is not a machine who can do that. It is talented people enjoying really working to create just a unique object or just a few of them. In terms of emotion, it is very important. Today you do not need to buy a Patek Philippe to know the time. We all have phones who give us the time. We all can see around us, there is always a clock not too far away. So it is really something like only about emotion, only about passion. This product can run for 100 years, 200 years. This product is more than just giving you the time, there's no doubt about it. It's what you are getting, it's a piece of art and also a piece of maybe the souvenir of your family. For me, I wear an Aquanaut, It is a very sporty watch. It's an automatic movement, as you can see, quite simple. It is not a complicated movement. What is important is that I never wear a new watch, the one that we're presenting at Basel this year, or the one that everybody is waiting for. I really do think that those ones should go directly to the client and not on my wrist. My pleasure is to realize those watches. I love to make them, I love to design them, and I don't want to have one of those on my wrist because as simple as that, your client will see you and they will say, oh, you have it? I'm waiting for it since a year, 6 months, or 2 years. So I strongly believe this is for them and not for me. The hardest part, I would say, for a watchmaker is to keep time for himself, but it's part also of the business. You know, I'm not working, I'm enjoying my life. This is not Thierry's business. It's 1,800 people working at Patek, and we all enjoy that. Business is important, but I think pleasure is even more important, and I have the chance to be one of those guys who is doing what he always dreamed to do, and I hope it will always continue like that.